Hey there, I've got a question for you. Have you ever heard the term, what you think about, you bring about? More importantly, have you heard the term that thoughts are things, and whatever you think about the most, that is in fact what becomes your reality? Stay tuned to this episode of Putting on the New You, where we're going to in fact discuss the different layers of the mind, how the mind works, and how you are in control of that process. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Putting on the New You. Once again, my name is Melvin Nix, and I want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for tuning in to today's broadcast. I'm really excited about what we're going to be getting into today, because now we're really jumping into more of the deeper information that I've been wanting to share with you all in regards to how the spirit works with the mind. So let's get right to it. Before we get into the lesson though, please take an opportunity to go and check out the other videos on our YouTube channel. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button. You can also check us out on other social media platforms such as our Facebook page, as well as our Instagram account, where we keep posting good information that hopefully brings a little bit more to you and can help enlighten your understanding about everything that we've been discussing. Okay, thank you so much. And now let's get back to the lesson. Where we left off in the last lesson, we were discussing how that the mind has different ways in which it operates. I discussed how the mind has various layers, but I kind of left you hanging there. I also shared with you the importance of watching your spiritual diet, what you've been feeding yourself, what you've been spending time, remember, doing what? Entertaining, giving your attention to, and how you've been spending your time. I hope you've been taking time throughout your day and throughout your week to really start putting some of this into motion. And if you have, what have you been noticing? Hopefully you've been seeing a lot of things, and that the information, as you remember things, is helping you to make better decisions and better choices. Just stay at it and stay with it, and I promise you, your life is going to get better. Now, as we get into this episode, let's go to a scripture in the Bible that I really like. It really discusses, to me, it highlights in one of the most easiest ways to understand the importance of watching not only your spiritual diet, but how it impacts the mind, okay? That scripture is in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. And it says, and I'm going to be reading out of the King James Version of the Bible, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." Notice what it says, keep thy heart with all diligence. Now, if you take the time to look at the different translations of the word in that particular verse of the Bible, you'll notice that that word keep is not like, you want to hold on to something and you want to keep it. That word, in fact, means to guard, like with an armed soldier. And notice that it says with all diligence. To me, that means the most important thing you can do is to guard your mind, to guard your heart, to guard the types of things that you are allowing to enter into your mind and to become part of your thinking. It says, because out of it are the issues of life. Isn't that something? What you think about the most, what you allow yourself to focus on, and what goes into your mind is actually building and constructing the very fabric of your life. So to me, if something is that important, you really need to pay attention to it. Don't you agree? Now, this particular scripture reminds me of my service in the Air Force. I served 6 years in the military. And part of that, it doesn't matter what your rank is. It doesn't matter if, you know everybody on base. Before you enter a military installation, there's a gate on every side of that, every part of that base that has an entrance has a gate, and usually it has an armed guard there. Now, that armed guard could be your neighbor. He could be your best friend, or she could be someone that you go to the gym with or what have you. But when that person's in that uniform and they are on their post, guess what? If you do not approach them in the right fashion, they can pull their guns on you and arrest you, and they will not allow you access to the base. So think about that. They take that role so seriously that they are guarding the lives of everyone at the military installation there, that it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what your rank is, there is a certain protocol that you have to follow in order to get access to that base. Well, keeping in mind what we just discussed about guarding your heart and how that soldier is at the gateway, making sure that everyone doesn't have access to the base. Well, guess what that armed guard is in your life in relation to your mind and how you keep your heart? That guard is your conscious mind. So the mind has various layers. You have what's known as your conscious mind and you have your subconscious mind. In today's lesson, we're going to focus more on the conscious mind, and in the next lesson, we'll talk about how the conscious mind works with the subconscious mind to bring about your thoughts and things of that nature. But for now, in this lesson, we're just going to focus on the conscious mind, how the conscious mind as an armed guard watches over what goes into your spirit. Now, imagine this. As you go about your day, you're thinking about something all the time. You're thinking about what your next move needs to be in your life. You're thinking about what you're going to have for lunch. You're thinking about, what time you have to be at a particular appointment, right? Day in and day out, you always, while you are awake, are having thoughts. You're having thoughts right now. While you're looking at me on this video, your mind is processing something that you fed it. It could have been something that you did in the past. It could have been something you're thinking about doing when you're done watching this video, or some future event. Your conscious mind, while you are awake, is always active and processing thoughts. Now, the various things that your conscious mind is in control of, I like to refer to your conscious mind as your thinking brain. It's the part of your mind that processes everything. It acts like an armed guard to where, whatever you are focusing your awareness on, like, you've heard the term think in the now, or be present, or be mindful. That's referring to bringing your conscious awareness into whatever you may be doing. Well, what's going on whenever you're bringing your conscious awareness into it? You are acting as that armed guard, watching over what's coming into your subconscious and what's not. Because the conscious mind is in control of the following. It is in control of your decision-making ability. It's in control of your intellect, your knowledge-based things that you learn, things that you spend time, when you read books and things of that nature. The conscious mind processes that information. It is your reasoning faculty. It's the ability for you, whenever different decisions have to be made, you process that information, where you use your judgment, where you think back and forth, do I want to have a hamburger for lunch, or do I want to have a salad for lunch? You know what I'm saying? So your conscious mind acts as that guard. As a thought comes to you, no matter what you may be doing or whatever may be going on in your environment, your conscious mind is standing there at a post, letting something in or closing the gate to keep something out. That is the part of us that allows for us to be able to make choices. Now, I'm very grateful for that, because everything that we think about sometimes is not always the best thing, won't you agree? Sometimes if you're really sad, you may be thinking the worst thing in the world. Like, you may want something bad to happen to someone, or you may just not be in a good mood, right? And trust me when I tell you, when you're in that particular space, you don't want everything that you're thinking about to become your reality, right? Think about if the worst thought that you ever had came true the minute that you thought of it. That would not be good, right? So, the conscious mind allows us to be able to choose. And that is a very good thing, because if you're able to choose the things that you're eating spiritually, then you get to structure and govern the quality of your thoughts. Most of us never consider that, because we kind of go about our day to day and we're on autopilot. We have, most of you can drive to the grocery store that you go to the most, or even drive to your job, or even let yourself into your house without ever thinking about it. Well, the part of you that controls that is the subconscious mind. But before that information gets to the subconscious mind, it has to be trained. It has to come through repetition. And the thing that allows you to be over that process is your conscious mind. It's where you are putting your focus. It's where you're allowing your energy to flow in a different situation. So like if you're learning how to dance or you're learning how to play a particular sport, there's a reason why you have to spend time doing it over and over and over again. Because every time that you put yourself in that environment or that situation, your conscious mind is processing thoughts. It's allowing for what we call muscle memory to develop, because every time you put something in front of yourself, your conscious brain is choosing it. You are, as that armed guard, standing at the gate, allowing, okay, I'm going to learn how to improve my golf swing. So every time you're at the driving range, your conscious mind is processing how you're holding the club, what you're thinking about, how you're looking at where the ball is going to go, well, where you hope is going to go and not hit someone, right? That is your conscious mind at play, because you are alert. When you are aware, you are processing and feeding and allowing all of that information to come in. Now, that is the only part of us that is able to make a good choice or to make a terrible choice. So what you want to begin doing, now that you know that the mind allows what goes into the spirit to be able to be processed, and we all know, as we've discussed before, the spirit as soil grows whatever gets put into it. So you want to be very careful about the seeds or the thoughts that you allow into your conscious mind. So, as we've discussed, we want to be mindful of our diet, and we want to be mindful of what we are focusing on, giving our awareness to, and spending our time participating in, because our conscious mind is the only thing that acts as a net or as a guard to catch and keep those things from getting into our spirit. We want to make sure that in order to put on the new you, you allow for the things that you want to manifest in your life and the things that you want your spirit to grow. Those are the types of things that you want to give your conscious mind the attention of. Those are the types of things that you want to allow your conscious mind to focus on the majority of the time. Because as a guard, let's say that that guard allows the wrong person onto the base. Okay? What could happen? That person can hurt someone. That person can hurt themselves. That person could jeopardize national security because they should never have been allowed to be on base, right? Well, look at it this way. If you allow the wrong thinking to encapsulate your conscious mind all the time, you're going to eventually allow the wrong types of thoughts to get sown as a bad seed into your garden, into the garden of your spirit. And whereas in your garden you may have wanted to grow a rose bush, you're going to grow a bunch of thorns. So please be mindful of what you are allowing to take up your awareness, to be in your conscious space, because the conscious mind, as the guard, stands at the gate of your spirit, allowing information to come in or allowing what information goes out. So, in the next episode, we're going to talk about the subconscious mind, because the mind has more than one layer. Today we've discussed the conscious mind, which is your rational mind, which is the part of you that thinks and reasons. We're going to get into the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is the most powerful of the two, because that is where everything gets stored, and that is what your spirit spends its time processing. Once again, my name is Melvin Nix. Thank you so much for tuning in to Putting on the New You. Please go to our YouTube channel, look at the videos that are there, hit the subscribe button while you're there, and you can always check out the previous lessons that we've done. And please also go over to our Facebook channel and our Instagram page and check out our information there. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.